Namo Namaha, Swagatam, welcome everybody. So nice to be here together at the Ananda Ashram World Sanskrit Day Celebrations 2024. And we have a beautiful theme this year which Shanta gave us, which was for the love of Sanskrit. And I think that kind of gave us free choice, to speak about anything related to Sanskrit that we love and that we feel strongly about. And so I've chosen a few verses from sort of women's voices from Vedic literature. Well, they appear in Purana and in Mahabharata, in epic text. But what I most love about Sanskrit really is Sanskrit sound. And I love Sanskrit song and Sanskrit sound and meter, chandas, and everything that, just the sound of Sanskrit. So what I thought, this is kind of almost like an excuse for me just to share some of my favorite music with you. But so I've chosen three female sages from Sanskrit literature, and some of their beautiful verses. They're very philosophical and deep, profound, and some of them are actually quite devotional. And I've chosen three contemporary musicians and composers, artists who are rendering these verses in modern day. And they're actually, I wanted to mention, they are Western musicians, so it's not a classical Indian rendering, it's a Western arrangement, and you will hear this with orchestra and so. But I think sometimes, in this case, these three musicians, I've also chosen them because two of them have relationship to Ananda Ashram. They've actually been to visit here, they've performed here. One of them is Kan Amrita Dasi, and the other one is Gabriela Bernal. You might know her, Gaia. And she does beautiful Sanskrit chanting, and she's one of the, I would say, almost like modern female sages who are really continuing the tradition of Parampara, Shruti Parampara, and doing beautiful pronunciation and rendering of these ancient texts and verses. And maybe you even know some of them. So, yes. Oh, and I wanted to say, so some of these translations, we will do a lot of listening, and we will do the chanting as well together of these verses. And we will go into some of the grammar, because Guruji, that's how he liked to do at the ashram. Whenever we were looking at, well, I never had the grace to meet Guruji, but the tradition of ashram is when we look at verses and the meaning, we also go a little bit into the grammar, because it's inherent in the text and it has its own beautiful chanting. So Shanta asked us to actually integrate some grammar into these talks. So this is why we're all doing this. And some of the translations that I've been using for these, so these are not all my own translations, they're quite devotional because I study, my name is Anna Vial. Sorry, most of you know me. I live in Barcelona. I work in publishing there, but I love Sanskrit, and we have a Sanskrit department at the University of Barcelona. And my teacher there is actually Vaishnava. So some of the translations and texts that we're looking at or that we're using with, they tend to be quite devotional, but just keep that in mind, because in some of the cases, of course, you could have a slightly more Advaita Vedanta interpretation or rendering or understanding of it, but I don't think they are conflicting. So I chose for this presentation, that they're slightly devotional, but you'll see. And you can, of course, have your own translation of these. So we'll do some listening, do some chanting, do a little bit dipping into grammar, and look at some of the meaning of these beautiful verses. So let's begin. Yes, this is sort of what I said. Oh, sorry. So the three personalities or female sages that I've chosen are Queen Kunti from Mahabharata, and Pingala, who is a character who appears in a section in Srimad Bhagavatam which talks about the 24 gurus. I don't know if you've heard about this. It's the story of Dattatreya and his 24 gurus. And it's a beautiful text where he describes the teachers that he's had in life and everything he's learned from the different, whether it be the wind or the fire or a pigeon, or in this case, Pingala, the prostitute. So she appears as one of the three characters I've chosen. And then the last one will be Queen Madalasa. She's probably from the most ancient sort of she's referred to, as probably the most sort of ancient times, but I've chosen her for last. So let's start with Kunti. You probably all, if you've studied Sanskrit texts, you've all heard of, or Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, you've heard of Queen Kunti. This is the verses I've chosen appear in Srimad Bhagavatam in the first canto, and she's of course the wife of, she's the queen, she's wife of Pandu and mother to the 5 Pandava. 3 Pandava? Oh yes, of course, because the twins are not hers, thank you. She's the mother of the, so correct please, 3 Pandava. And here it's a very beautiful section where she, after Kurukshetra and the battle and many calamities and many difficulties and crises they have overcome, and they have been sent into exile, and Kunti of course is always with her sons and with Draupadi, her daughter-in-law, and she addresses Sri Krishna as just getting ready to return to his home city, Dvaraka, I think, yes, and she addresses him in a beautiful prayer. First he is actually in this incarnation, he's her nephew because she's sister to his biological father, Vasudeva, but she's not addressing him as her nephew, she's addressing him as her lord. So let's hear this beautiful composition from Janavi Harrison. You may actually know. She's a beautiful singer, and this is her composition. Sound? There's no sound. This is a fairly recent composition. I think it's from last year. And Janavi Harrison, she's a Vaishnava, and she's been singing and making music for a long time, and it was really during the pandemic that she became very visible because she was doing a twice weekly kirtan, a live kirtan online on Instagram, and that's how she already had a lot of recordings online, but this is how, with the pandemic, because people were confined, to their homes, her videos and her compositions suddenly got a lot more traffic. And same with Gaia, actually, with Gabriella Bernal. She's now really in the millions with her followers. If not, we can just play it from my laptop.
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alaksham Sarvabhutanam Antar Bahiravastitam Namo Namo वक्षसे मूधादृशा नटो नाट्यधरो यथा नमो नमः तथा परमहंसानां मुनीनां ममलात्मनां भक्तियोगविधानार्थं कथं पश्येम हि श्रिया नमो नमः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमारय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो नमः गोविन्द गोविन्द नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते नमो नमो नमः
Beautiful. Had you heard this composition before? No. Oh, we have to stop the YouTube video. It's playing the next song. Oh, nice. Sounded nice. Could have been background music too. Okay, so let's look at this beautiful. Oh, it came out very green. So basically, what I did was just to go a little bit into grammar, but not too much. I've marked the finite verbs, just so you have an inkling of. Would you mind going into full screen with the green? Yeah, great. So I thought we could chant a few select verses from part of this prayer, and I will lead them. This is Shloka Anushtup meter. It's 8-syllable meter, which you all know, and I lead, and then we can do together. Kuntyuvacha Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishvaram Prakrite Param Ishvaram Prakrite Param Alakshyam Sarvabhutanam Alakshyam Sarvabhutanam Antarbahiravastitam Antarbahiravastitam. So Kunti Uvacha, all of these verses I've selected, they start with and she spoke. So here it's Kunti Uvacha Sandhi. Kunti Uvacha is Kunti Uvacha. Uvacha is third person singular imperfect from Vach, to speak. Uvacha, which we all know from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Uvacha, Sanjaya Uvacha. And then Namasye is the verb. Namasyati. Actually looked it up. I hadn't seen this before. Namasye, I bow down. It's Atmanepada. Purusham Tvadyam. To you, the supreme person, Purusha, or supreme being. Ishvaram Prakrite Param. Ishvaram, the Lord or controller of Prakriti, of Maya, of the material cosmos. Param, and beyond. Alakshyam, Lakshyam, Alakshyam, invisible. Sarva Bhutanam is a compound here in all beings. Antar is Anta, Sandhi, Anta, within, and Bahi, without. Avastitam, it's Avasta, so Ava is the Upasarga, Sta is the root. Resides in the hearts of all beings. So the translation would be something like Kunti spoke, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all. And let's do the next. Oh yeah, here we had a nice, I thought we could do the Uvacha because it comes 3 times. So lack of timing, I took this chart, but at Ananda Ashram we always chanted. So let's start from the bottom row up to the top row. I'll lead and you can follow. Uvacha uchatu uchuhu. Uvacha uchatu uchuhu. Uvachita uvakta uchatu ucha. Uvachita uvakta uchatu ucha. Uvacha uvacha uchiva uchima. Uvacha uvacha uchiva uchima. Oh, Uvacha, did I say imperfect before? It's perfect tense. So sorry. Uvacha is third person singular perfect tense. Okay, so next, this is very nice. We can do the same. Oh, I called it here, one of her teachings is pray for more problems, and I believe this is something Guruji would sometimes say. Pray for more problems. And she's saying actually exactly that. So let's look at it. We'll do the same. I'll lead and we do together. Vipada santuta shashvat. Vipada santuta shashvat. Tatra tatra jagat guru. Tatra tatra jagat guru. Pavato darshanam yatsyat. Pavato darshanam yatsyat. Apunar Bhavadarshanam, Apunar Bhavadarshanam. Vipada, Vipada, calamities. Santu, Santu, let there be. It's third person plural, imperative. We're going to chant that in the next slide. Tah, oh, Shashvat, again and again. Tatra, there. Tatra, and there, also, yes. Jagat Guru, no, that's Sandhi. Guru, Guru of Jagat, Lord of the universe. Bhavatah, here translated as your. Darshanam, it's vision really from Drish, Pashyati, but Darshanam, encounter, meeting, or seeing you. Yat, that which. Syat, may it be. And that's a beautiful third person singular optative. Both of these are from us, asti. First conjugation, irregular. We'll be chanting them now. Apunah, apunah. It's punah, punar, again. Apunar, apuna, not again. And then bhavadarshanam. So compound, we start from the back. Darshanam, seeing. And then bhavadarshanam, here the meaning is seeing repetition of birth and death. So the cycle of being and becoming, or maybe or samsara. So the meaning would be, I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again. She's referring to everything they've had to suffer through, and actually they've had a lot of, attacks on their life, trying to be poisoned, trying to be burned. The Pandava had to go into exile. They lost their kingdom. They had to fight a war against their relatives and family and gurus. So she says, I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again, she says to Sri Krishna. I get a bit emotional. For seeing you means that we will not again have to see repeated births and deaths. So she's saying the more problems, pray for more problems, because in your presence, we might find liberation. So let's do a little bit of grammar here. Again, we're chanting from the bottom up. So this is asti, to be. Oh, it's actually second conjugation. Good. I'm learning. Irregular. So we start from the bottom line, chanting up. Astu stam santu, astu stam santu, edi stam sta, edi stam sta, asani asava asama, asani asava asama. So this is santu, third person plural imperative, let there be. And then we have syat. Again, we start from the bottom up. Syat, syatam, syuhu. Syat, syatam, syuhu. Syaha, syatam, syata. Syaha, syatam, syata. Syam, syava, syama. Syam, syava, syama. Syat, third person singular, may it be, it's potential. And then this is a beautiful verse. You see, I chose, because it's quite a lot of verses, so I chose 3 here. And it's again expresses her devotion. So, Tvaimenanya Vishaya, Tvaimenanya Vishaya, Matir Matupate Sakrit, Matir Matupate Sakrit, Ratimut Vahatat Adha, Ratimut Vahatat Adha, Gange Vau Kamudanvati, Gange Vau Kamudanvati. Actually, let's do it together. It's so nice. Just once, all together. Tvaimenanya Vishaya, Matir Matupate Sakrit, Ratimut Vahatat Adha, Gange Vau Kamudanvati. Tvai unto you here. Is that what we saw with Devi? Was it Twai in you? Okay. Me, my, Ananya Vishaya, Ananya Vishaya, Anya, other, Vishaya, would it be distractions or? Here it's translated as unalloyed, but like with no other object. Yeah, that's what I thought. So not distracted by anything other. Negation, ananya, vishaya. So here its translation would be unalloyed, but fully focused on you. Mati. Here attention, but I think it's also a mind, right? Madhupate, oh Lord of Madhu. Asakrit, here continuously. Ratim, attraction. Or it can also be pleasure, I think, yes. Here is translated as attraction. Udvahatat, may it flow or overflow, yes. Adha, directly. To Ganga, the river Ganga. Iva, like. Ogham, a stream. Udanvati, that is the locative for the sea. O Lord of Madhu, as the river Ganga forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anything else. And actually Jahnavi has a beautiful song which you may know. It's like a river. And it takes exactly these verses. So let my heart flow to you always like a river to the sea. Oh, by the way, these are beautiful teachings of Queen Kunti. You can find in the library, Ashram library. It's from Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami, who used to live at Ananda Ashram. Visiting. Weekend visiting. I thought he was residing. All right. So these are also beautiful. And I was studying Mandukya Upanishad, and there's a very beautiful commentary from Guruji on the river Ganges, which I will read as we're looking here at River Ganga. He writes, in the acknowledgements, he writes, thinking and thought are like the Ganga river. Every thought originates from an unknown source of vibration, like the glaciers, the deep sleep state of thought and thinking. The stage of the rivulet flowing within the mountains is like the dream state. The Ganga rushing through the plains is comparable to the waking state of thinking and thought. And finally, meeting and merging with the ocean is the state of samadhi or turiya. So really what Kunti Devi is saying, lead me to that union, and I hope for many, may all the conditions be in place for me to have that one focus towards you and lead me towards this, like the river to the sea. So it is a very devotional verse, but you could also interpret in philosophical, about one-pointed concentration and meditation, and calming the mind and arriving at that place of samadhi or turiya. Yes, so here's this udvahatat. I actually didn't have time to look up this verb, but it is the finite verb in this verse. So, Bharati, did you want to? Yes, I would like to know more about udvahatat. It's optative. May it flow? Yes. Beautiful. So this was Queen Kunti, and now let us travel in time. So we go to the story of Pingala, the prostitute. And this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. I really recommend. It's a beautiful section on the 24 gurus and what Dattatreya learned from these teachers, different teachers from the animal kingdom, nature, and also here. So I will just read briefly. There was once a prostitute named Pingala. Pingala. One day she was waiting from sunset until midnight. That's not very long. Maybe sunrise. Okay. From sunrise until midnight for a customer in great anticipation. And as she's waiting, you'll feel this in the music, in the composition, and in the verses. Her anxiety is building. So, but as the time passed, her mind became very uneasy. No man came to see her, and in disgust, she finally became renounced, giving up her desire for suitors. Thereafter, she engaged herself in thinking only of the Supreme Lord, and her mind achieved peace. The instruction received from her is that hope for sense gratification or sensual pleasures is the root cause of all suffering. Only one who has given up such desire can truly achieve peace. So really these are verses about detachment, but they're very poetic and beautiful. And yes, let's see some select verses. In total there are 22, but I've only selected a few. This is Karnamrita Dasi. She's also Vaishnava, and she has performed here and visited the ashram. And it's a beautiful album if you ever get a chance to listen.
Pingala uvacha aho me mohavitatim pasyata vijitatmana yakantarasata kamam kamayena balisha kamayena balisha kamayena balisha yakantarasata kamam kamayena balisha santam samipe ramanam rati pradam vita pradam nityamimam vihaya akamadam dukha bhayadi soka mohapradam tuchamaham bhajena santam samipe ramanam rati pradam vita pradam nityamimam vihaya akamadam dukha bhayadi soka mohapradam tuchamaham bhajena nuname bhagavan prito vishnukenapi karmana nirvedoyam durashaya yanme jata sukavah maivam syormanda bhagyaya klesha nirvedahetava yena nubandham nihritya purusha samam richati santam samipe ramanam rati pradam vita pradam nityamimam vihaya akamadam dukha bhayadi shoka mohapradam tuchamaham bhajena santam samipe ramanam rati pradam vita pradam nityamimam vihaya akamadam dukha bhayadi shoka mohapradam tuchamaham bhajena tenopakritim madhaya sirashagramya sangatah tyaktva durashasharanam rajami tamadhishwaram santushta shadadatyetar yata labena jivati viharam yamunaivaham atmana ramanena vai santam samipe ramanam rati pradam vita pradam nityamimam vihaya akamadam dukha bhayadi
beautiful. So yes, I believe here the prostitute, I don't know if that's the term still used nowadays, probably not, but, and she stands for, it's really sort of representative of the realm of sensual pleasures, and you know, this is her business, so that's really what she's dedicated to. And this inner despair, I love this recording. It's very, it doesn't adhere to the metric rules, so it's a beautiful composition, but it's not really good for meter. But I love it because it sort of reflects that inner, you know, the despair and the sort of rising, where is the exit? This is not how I want to live, and this suffering and despair. And then she actually, within those verses, she has this self-observation, you know, she checks her priorities, she says, this is my state. She observes herself clearly, you know, what a fool I am. Anyway, we're looking at this in a minute. And then she actually makes that transformation over these verses. She just has this insight and realizes true happiness is not to be found in this material realm or sensual pleasures. So let's look at this. I'll do a different, I'll do the meter, you know, I'll adhere to the metric rules, and also we'll do a slightly different melody. I'll be leading, okay. Pingala uvacha, aho me. I'm just trying to remember the ashram melody, because does this happen when you listen to a melody? It's hard to come back to the, so. Aho me moha vitatim, aho me moha vitatim. Again, aho me moha vitatim, havitatim. Next line. Pashyata vijitatmana, pashyata vijitatmana, yakantata sata kamam, yakantata sata kamam, kama yena balisha, kama yena balisha. Let's do it all together. Pingala uvacha, aho me moha vitatim, pashyata vijitatmana, yakantat asata kamam, kama yena balisha. Pingala uvacha, Pingala spoke. Aho, oh, exclamation, me, my, moha, illusion, vitatim, here, expansion, moha vitatim, pashyata, just, oh, it's not long, it's actually pashyata, sorry, pashyata, just see, oh, see everyone, the second person plural, it's imperative, I think, of drish pashyati, to see. Avijita atmana. Avijita atmana, of one whose mind is not controlled. A as upasarga, avijita, from G Jayati, I think. Avijita atmanaha, one whose self or mind is not controlled. Ya, which person? Kantat, here from a lover. It's ablative, singular. Asatah, insignificant here translated. Kamam, we know kama, desire, pleasure. And kamaye is the finite verb here. Kam, I think it's kam, kamayate. First conjugation, irregular. Kamaye, I desire. Yena, which, because balisha, fool here. And the nice thing is, because these verses are spoken by women, we don't often get the feminine ending in. So I like the balisha, and we'll have the gya, the agya. So just keep an eye out for the feminine endings when she's speaking about herself. So Pingala spoke, just see how greatly illusioned I am, because I cannot control my mind. Just like a fool, I desire pleasure from an insignificant lover, man. And then we look at this is shloka, by the way, this is an eight syllable shloka, Anushtup verse. And this is different, this is an 11 syllable, but the first line actually has 12 syllables, so it would be mixed meter, 11 syllables, but slightly irregular. This happens a lot in Srimad Bhagavatam. If you like meter and you read Srimad Bhagavatam, it has, sometimes there will be a 12 syllable line. So this is sort of the refrain in the composition. She always came back to this verse. It's quite strong. So let's do a different melody. Santam samipe ramanam ratipradam. Santam samipe ramanam ratipradam. Vittapradam nityamimam vihaya. Vittapradam nityamimam vihaya. Akamadam dukkapayati shoka. Akamadam dukkapayati shoka. Mohapradam tucchamaham bhajignya. Mohapradam tucchamaham bhajignya. All together. Santam samipe ramanam ratipradam. Vittapradam nityamimam vihaya. Akamadam dukkapayati shoka. Mohapradam tucchamaham bhajignya. Santam. This is probably from us, so participle. Being, and here it's translated as being. Samipe, most near or close to the heart. Here translated. Ramanam, the most dear. So these word-by-word translations, you can see they're already leading towards the final meaning translation. So sometimes they're not absolutely literal. Rati. Oh, this is nice actually, because so we have these compounds. We have rati pradam. We have vitta pradam. And then we have a very nice compound. Dukkha bhayadhi shoka moha pradam. Dukkha bhayadhi shoka moha pradam. So rati pradam would be pleasure giving, or pleasure, affection giving. Vitta pradam would be prosperity giving. And so we can decode the long. So those were both positive, and now we're looking at what the other one is giving her. So the lovers or her clients, whatever you may call them, that she spends time with, they're indeed only giving her. We can start from the back. Moha, illusion, or confusion may be better. Confusion, shoka, suffering, right? Affliction, lamentation. Ati here is mental distress. I didn't know this word. Bhaya, for fear. And dukkha also, misery, suffering. So really all bad things, right? Dukkha, bhayadi, shoka, moha, pradam. So I have been unwise to have neglected him who is eternally situated within my heart and most dear to me, the bestower of real love and happiness and the source of all prosperity. So that's the rati pradam, vitta pradam. Instead, I have ignorantly served insignificant men who can never satisfy my true desires, and who have brought me nothing but pain, unhappiness, fear, anxiety, lamentation, and moha, confusion. So the verb here is aham bhajati, to worship, yes? And I'm worshipping the wrong kind of guys. Or, any guys. Here she's talking about, I think they mentioned lovers, but she's really talking about where is my attention going to? Where am I investing my time and my energy and my efforts and my mind? What is my mind absorbed in? Do I want my mind absorbed in these matters that are bringing only these dukkha, bhaya, adi, shoka, moha? And then again, she calls herself a fool. This is agya. So gya is the knower, and agya is the non-knower, the unwise person. Bhaji is first person singular, of course. Bhaj, yes. And agya is nice. We have the feminine ending. And so the compound for you, those of you who like compounds, dukkha, bhaya, adi, shoka, moha, I would say that's a dvandva within a tat purusha? Not you think? Or paniti? So you have a list, like in Yoga Sutra, you have the 5 kleshas, you have the afflictions, so those are all nice dvandvas. You have the list of all the... Okay. So there's some nice compounds here. Okay, and let's look at the next verse. I will lead. Santushta shraddhatatyetat Santushta shraddhatatyetat Yathalabhena jivati Yathalabhena jivati Viharam yamunai vaham Atmana ramanena vai together. Santushta shraddhatatyetat Yathalabhena jivati Viharam yamunai vaham Atmana ramanena vai. Santushta. This is very nice, of course, from samtosh, completely satisfy. Santushta is the participle, and it's the feminine ending. Shraddhadati. That's why it becomes a heavy syllable, because it's before the ta and the ya. Okay, shraddhadatyetat. Okay, shraddhadati. Now having complete faith, shraddha, faith. So she's taking, she's starting to trust. Making this transformation. We skipped quite a few verses, but reflecting on this, and she's meditating really on what is her current situation and where she wants to truly go and focus her mind. So now she's taking faith, etat, in that, yatha labhena is instrumental singular. Here it's translated as with whatever comes of its own accord, but lab is to attain, right? With that which is attained, which is gained. So I understand it as she's trusting, she's giving up her profession, really. She's giving up her previous lifestyle to pursue meditation. Because really what Pingala is doing is she's meditating on the I am beyond the body and mind. So that's what I get from her verses and from her transformation, really. And this is something that Guruji always used to say, meditate on the I am beyond the body and the mind. So jivati, living, viharami is here the finite verb, first person singular. Is it from vihri? Viriharati, to enjoy. Amuna, it's instrumental singular with that one. Eva, only. Aham, I. Atmana. So this is the devotional rendering translated here as with the Supreme. She's speaking about the Lord in her heart, but really you could Atma Ramana, okay, time. Ramanena, Ramanena. Who? So this is quite a loose translation. Who is the real source of love and happiness? Vai, indeed. So I am now completely satisfied, and I have full faith in that grace from the previous verse. Therefore, I will maintain myself, having given up her profession. I will maintain myself with whatever comes of its own accord. I shall enjoy life with only the Lord, because He is the real source of love and happiness. So she has Shraddha, she has trust and faith. She has Santosha, which is such a beautiful word, contentedness. And we know Santoshat Anuttama Sukalapaha from Yoga Sutta. From contentedness comes the highest happiness. Okay, and I think this is the last verse, which is the narrator speaking, no longer Pingala speaking. And so this is the moral of the story. And they lived happily ever after. It goes, Asha hi paramam dukkam, Asha hi paramam dukkam, Nairashyam paramam sukham, Nairashyam paramam sukham, Yatha sanchitya kanta sham, Yatha sanchitya kanta sham, Sukham sushvapa pingala, Sukham sushvapa pingala. Here, sushvapa, sushvapa, sushvapa. She slept. This is third person singular, perfect tense of shvap, shvapati. Is it swap? Sha. Shwap, shwapati. So this is typo. Please forgive. Any typos, all the errors are mine. Here it's cerebral, sushwapa, perfect tense. But the root, is it shwap or shwap? Oh, swap. Okay. None of the first I said. Okay. Swap, swapati, to sleep. And I love how it says, the last pada is, and Pingala very happily went to sleep. He says, she sits on her bed, having realized that she now knows what she truly wants and giving up her previous lifestyle in order to focus on beyond the material realm. She happily sits down on her bed and she happily goes to sleep. So translation, I'm only reading, we won't do word by word. Material desire is undoubtedly the cause of the greatest unhappiness. So that's paramam dukkam, asha, paramam dukkam. And freedom from such desire, nairashyam, nirasha, nairashyam, that's vritti. Paramam sukham is the cause of the greatest happiness, paramam sukham. Therefore, having completely cutting off samchit, sanchitya, cutting off, it's a active participle. Yes. Yes. Indeclinable.
You could say expectation, because it means like hope.
Asha. Oh, okay, so it's actually the expectation that causes the suffering, not the... why is it translated as material desire? So I actually prefer, that's much more literal. So the hope for material or sensual pleasures is what really causes the dukkham and the whole... karma, incarnation, cycle of samsara, and keeping, being bound by that. Yes, Indira? Okay. So therefore, cutting completely off her desire for lovers, kantasham, sukham sushvapa pingala, she happily went to sleep. And that is the story of Pingala. And now, a very beautiful, which many of you probably know, Madalasa, and she was a queen. Oh, I have to read it from here. This is from Madalasa Upadesha. It's actually a lullaby. She used to sing to her crying baby sons. She had 4. And she was a very learned woman. She was a queen in Vedic times. Not sure how many thousands of years, but could be, some say 14,000 years ago. We're never sure about these timing. And she was considered enlightened or self-realized. She had realized the self, and so she would sing this lullaby to her children in order to educate them And I think it's a beautiful example of how our mother can be many times in our life our first teacher. You know, kind of, it can be, it doesn't have to be, but sometimes they set us on the right path. And so 3 of her 4 sons actually renounced the throne after, you know, when they grew up, because the message was so strong in them. So this is Upajati meter, 11 syllable. It's a mixed meter with 11 syllables. Oh, first we're going to listen to the beautiful recording, and I've kept this for last because the recording is so beautiful that I would have lost you all if I played it first. So let's listen to this. This is Gabriella Bonnell. She has come to the ashram and visited, and she's even done a little bit of teaching. Oh, yeah, you can just say that probably. As you can see, I have a Spanish laptop. Maybe it'll go away. Yeah. Oh, just now the cross. Maybe you can click the cross on the top right. Yeah, that's it. And wait. And now click the cross on the top right. Yeah, thank you.
शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि संसारमाया परिवर्जितोऽसि संसारस्वप्नं त्यज्य मोहनिद्रां मदालसोल्लापनुवाच पुत्रम् शुद्धोऽसि रेता तनतेऽस्ति नाम कृतं हि ते कल्पनयाधुनैव पञ्चात्मकं देहमिदं न तेऽस्ति नैवास्य त्वं रोदिषि कस्य हेतु न वा भवान् रोदिति विश्वजन्मा शब्दोऽयमायाद्यमहीशसूनु विकल्प्यमाना विविधैर्गुणैस्ते गुणाश्च भौता सकलेन्द्रियेषु भूतानि भूतैः परिदुर्बलानि वृद्धिं समायान्ति यथेह पुंसः अन्नाम्बुपानादिभिरेव तस्मात् न तेऽस्ति वृद्धिर्न च तेऽस्ति हानिः त्वं कञ्चुकेशीर्यमाणे निजोऽस्मिन् तस्मिन् देहे मूढतां मा व्रजेथा शुभाशुभैः कर्मभिर्देहमेतन् मदादिभिः कञ्चुकस्तेऽपि नद्धा तातेति किञ्चित् तनयेति किञ्चित् अम्बेति किञ्चित् धैतेति किञ्चित् ममेति किञ्चिन्न ममेति किञ्चित् त्वं भूतसङ्घं बहुमालपेता दुःखानि दुःखोपशमाय भोगान् सुखाय जानाति विमूढचेता तान्येव दुःखानि पुनः सुखानि जानाति विद्वान् न विमूढचेता यानं क्षितौ तत्र गतश्च देहो देहेऽपि चान्यः पुरुषो निविष्टः मम त्वमूर्व्यां न यथा तथास्मिन् देहेति मात्रं बत मूढतर्षा शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि संसारमाया परिवर्जितोऽसि संसारस्वप्नं त्यज मोहनिद्रां मदालसोल्लापनुवाच पुत्रं मदालसोल्लापनुवाच पुत्रं मदालसोल्लापनुवाच पुत्रम् शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि
Now you understand why I chose this last. Yes, she's a beautiful Sanskritist and she has beautiful recordings. And so because of time, let's only do, this is sort of the main that probably you've all heard or maybe have even studied before. So it's Upajati, yes, mixed meter, 11 syllables. I'll lead and then we can do together. Shuddhosi buddhosi niranjanosi Shuddhosi buddhosi niranjanosi Samsaramaya parivarjitosi Samsaramaya parivarjitosi Samsara swapnam tyajamohanidram Samsara swapnam tyajamohanidram Madala solapamuvacha putram Madala solapamuvacha putram Shuddha asi Shuddha asi You are pure Buddha asi You are awakened already Bodhati Niranjana asi And then we have a compound Sansara Maya Parivarjita Asi. So the C is always, with the avagraha, it means it has elided the A from Asi, which is second person singular as asti, to be. It's also, I like seeing that second singular form, speaking to them directly in second person. You are that, you are pure, you are forever pure, you are, it says enlightened, but awakened. And untainted, it's from nir-anj, anj anakti, I think, 7th conjugation, to smear, or to anoint. Yes, so nir, not tainted. And samsara, maya, parivarjita, untouched by the illusions of samsara. And then tyaja is our finite verb. It's second person singular, tyaj, to abandon, or to renounce, better. So give up this dream world of samsara and wake up from the deep slumber of delusion. Thus spoke Madalasa to her crying son. So Madalasa, ulapam. Ulapam is crying, putram, ulapam putram, uvacha, she spoke. Can I do one more verse? Yeah, great. So we're skipping, Oh, because it's time limit, so let's see what the next verse would be. Oh, let's skip this. Yeah, let's do this one. I love this one. Tateti kinchit tanayeti kinchit. Tateti kinchit tanayeti kinchit. Ambeti kinchit tayiteti kinchit. Ambeti kinchit tayiteti kinchit. Mameti kinchin namameti kinchit. Mameti kinchin namameti kinchit. Tvam bhuta sangam bahumala pitaha. Tvam bhuta sangam bahumala pitaha. So, tata iti kinchit. Some may call you father. Tanaya iti kinchit. Some may call you son. Amba iti kinchit. This is a sandhi here, kinchit. Amba iti kinchit. Some may call you mother. Daita? I hadn't heard that before. Daita iti. Some may call you wife. Kinchit. And now, mama iti, mine. This is mine, some may call you. Mama iti kinchit. Kinchit, there's a sandhi before the na. So some say mama iti, and some say na mama. You are not mine. You are mine, you are not mine. Na mama iti kinchit. All these are just names, so she's teaching her children. Some say you are mine, and others you are not mine. But these are all references to this Bhuta Sangam, to this combination of Bhuta, physical elements, so to this body, to this, what does India like to call it? It's just a vessel. Yes, she has from a science fiction novel. Anyway, sorry, it's just a vessel. Bahu ma lape taha, second person, imperative. Ma is the negation. Do not identify with them. So let's do the last slide just once more, that beautiful refrain, and then we can close. So we can all do together. Shuddhosi buddhosi niranjanosi samsara maya parivarjitosi sansara swapnam tyajamoha nidram madala sullapamuvacha putram. And let's just repeat the first pada 3 times and then we can just sit for half a minute. Shuddhosi buddhosi niranjanosi. Shuddhosi buddhosi niranjanosi. Shuddhosi buddhosi niranjanosi. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. Mm-hmm.